Okay. Obsessions are unwelcome and distressing ideas, thoughts, images, or impulses that repeatedly enter your mind. They may seem to occur against your will, they may be repugnant to you, you may recognize them as senseless, and they may not fit your personality. Compulsions, on the other hand, are behaviors or acts that you feel driven to perform, although you may recognize them as senseless or excessive. At times, you may try to resist doing them, but this may prove difficult. You may experience anxiety that does not diminish until the behavior is completed. Okay. An example of an obsession is the recurrent thought or impulse to do serious physical harm, even though you never would. An example of a compulsion is the need to repeatedly check appliances, water faucets, and the lock on the front door. While most compulsions are observable behaviors, some are unobservable mental acts, such as silent checking or reciting nonsense phrases. Rate these statements between 1 and 4, 4 being the most anxiety-inducing. Select the number that best describes how much that experience has distressed or bothered you during the past month. Do not spend too much time on any one statement. That's a 2. No, that's a 3. Thoughts come into my mind against my own. I can't get rid of them. No. Wash it clean obsessively. Yes. No. I've saved up so many things that they get in the way. I need to pray to cancel out bad thoughts or feelings. No, I don't think so. I hold a count while I'm doing things. I go back to places to make sure that I have not harmed anyone. No. Before going to sleep, I have to do certain things a certain way. No, 2. No, I collect things. Another one. It's 50.
So, did you see the evaluation?
Yeah. So you said 42 is the limit? Like if you're over 42, you have it. If you're under, you don't have it? But that's what the sheet said, I think.
Not necessarily. So, results could change based
Yeah.
on mood.
Oh, okay.
It's more of an assessment. What did you score?
Come again? No, yeah. I think I got 40.
Okay.
40 sounds right, which I mean is right under, so I think I'd be good. So I don't need to
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to send me a photo when you guys
Yeah. No, yeah. I can send you a picture.
Okay. Do you need me to remind you?
No, I don't think I need to remind you. I think I'm good.
All right. Sounds good then.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Bye bye.
Hi, welcome back to the Electric Lady Studios. I'm the Electric Lady, and I was involved in an accident at the power plant unrelated to my title. The state government understands me to be a litigious individual and an adjunct faculty member at the X-Men Academy. Mental health. It's never been bigger. I mean, the physical text, often scribed on the side of cherry red double-decker buses and tri-vision billboards competing with WhatsApp and Elf Bar advertisements. As for my mental, you can be sure it's healthy, all right. Much ado is made about the broadly intangible experience of mental illness, the metaphysical fog of war between our internal battles and the perception of others, a distinction made all the more significant by our rapidly increasing standards of living post-industrial revolution. As our needs are increasingly met, our hunger satiated, and our personalized YouTube shorts wheeled out like sanitarium patients bound to trephination tables via straitjacket, an increasingly civilized society must rise to the occasion of conquering the psychoanalytical truths that burrow deep down into interlocking twists of gray matter. I raise this question to the average resident of a first world country. What are we if not civilized? Just like everyone else? Gee, I sure hope not. We've got 914 Sweet Greens locations nationwide. Now that's America. It's too cynical. Who's gonna watch this, man? It's not true. It's true. Could be true. I just need to know. I don't know if I told you. If I told somebody else, would they? I don't think I should tell anybody else. I don't think I can't know because if they know, they'll apply. No, because if they shake their tails, I expect when I'm feeling I can't do that. I'm feeling I just need to know. I just need to know whether or not it's a function of 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
shot you a text last week, and you still haven't gotten back to us, so just want to check in and make sure you're all good. Just in the future, we're going to need a bit more communication on this front, because if we're telling our clients dates they can't trust, it starts to make us look unreliable, right? And they are threatening to pull out of the deal, so we just need some honesty, right? And we know things can come up that make sticking the deadlines difficult, of course, but we would really appreciate it if you could just give us a heads up first when things come up, so we can keep the client informed. Because right now, both us and the client are being left in the dark, right? So, anyway, would love to hear from you by end of day, and talk to you soon. I'm sure.
Obsessive-compulsive disorder is amongst the most misunderstood and misrepresented mental illnesses, broadly speaking. It's an affliction that affects between 1.1 and 1.8% of the population, increases the likelihood of suicide up to 10 times, divorces people from their ability to enjoy day-to-day livelihood, and strips folks of all of their presence. A part of this is because it's commonly represented in terms of what people may call perfectionism OCD, which is the form of obsessions that people have associated with the obsessive-compulsive disorder. Straightening books, washing hands, counting magical beliefs about numbers, angles, the just rightness of all variables. In reality, that's a single subtype in a broad range of symptoms and struggles that obsessive-compulsive people experience. OCD, for many, is an almost poetic, ephemeral illness, focused on substrate and metaphorical meaning, indications and looping arrows, fuzzy auras of significance only to the sufferer. A hefty portion of suffering takes place outside of the physical realm, in a never-ending spiral staircase of recidivist thought patterns and illusions of personal culpability. The further one might get into the tunnel of obsessive-compulsive thinking, the more overtly conspiratorial and tertiary the connections might become. Anything can and will be an indication of something else. All worlds become that of sinew, made with the express purpose to link yourself and your actions and inactions. One might say that obsessive-compulsive disorder is a solipsistic, even self-concerned illness, one that chips into a rich geode of insecurities and subconscious fixations as a drill bit, and corkscrews yet deeper until it's reached the foundational element that most singularly is capable of destroying you. Glancing off veins of nonsensical pattern recognition and irrational association, forming a load-bearing rod stretching from your innermost incertitudes outwards to your actions and feelings until you act in harmonious concert with your most phantasmagorical axioms, lockstep with a funhouse mirror projection of yourself only you are privy to. OCD isn't definitionally invisible, but always on the move in frantic blurs of action, always trying to reinvent itself, obscure invention and detection, re-establish dominance, and reclaim territory it ceded. Obsession, coruscating and brittle, can't help itself but burst from our heads and spring forth into compulsions, actions meant to defang and defuse the debilitating obsessions and the anxiety that comes along with them. In this schema, for the obsessive-compulsive, the whole world becomes a semiotic playground, surrounding the neuroses of self, and in self-concerned tragic irony becomes a massive source of shame. Obsessive-compulsives often struggle to tell others about their struggles because of the transgressive, irrational, or offensive nature of their intrusive obsessions. They might even doubt their own diagnosis.
So, do you want to do the crossword still?
Okay, let's look at the list. There's harm OCD, POCD, relationship, responsibility, somatic, postpartum, sexual orientation, religious, existential, contamination OCD. I think that's all of them. Oh, no. That's some of them. Those are just the big ones, actually.
So what's the difference?
I think they're all the same in terms of symptoms. It's just like a specific topic.
So like a genre?
Yeah, that's cute. It's like a Spotify auto-generated ego-dystonic necrophilic rumination playlist for you. For the kickback, yeah.
Who's on that playlist?
Burzum and R. Kelly.
Who's Burzum?
I feel like none of those categories sound like me, though. Like, I feel like if I had POCD, I would have, like, talked to you about it or something, right? Like, I mean, I tell somebody about it. Here's how I know I don't actually have it, though. Tell me if this makes sense. So... And so obsessions turn to denials of obsessions, turn to obsessions with denial, turn to obsessions of egosyntonic despair. Ego-dystonic and ego-syntonic are words I was taught regarding my own obsessive-compulsive disorder, referring to thoughts that are at odds with your own beliefs, desires, outlook, and morals. Such is the life of somebody in recovery from obsessive-compulsive behavior, a constant assessment of yourself and your beliefs, rigorous interrogation of why and how you operate, for whom and by whom your maladaptions are authored, a commitment to words and away from self-obsession at the same time, approaching an honesty of self and a neglect of further investigation, spending time with thoughts, triggers, exposures to anxiety-inducing material to condition your responses. The career of YouTuber, content creator, artist, in a similar way is self-reflective and introspective, demanding of a certain type of critical growth-oriented understanding of my own actions and behaviors, how they relate to success or failure, how they fracture or cohere a brand image. Not only self-assessment, but rigid categorization of my strengths, weaknesses, traits, modes of operation, of my audience, who I may appeal to, who they may be interested in. How am I meant to healthily pursue this career, this lifestyle, when it re-inflames old rashes of self-obsession and isolation? Well, there's no way out but through. There are times in my life, right now for instance, where the last thing in the world I want to do is research, write, edit, light, block, shoot, color grade, edit, score, design, and upload a video. It's just too anxiety-inducing. What I want to do is retreat deep into a cavern, further from my imperfect expressions of feelings and thoughts, and wall myself as profoundly as I can from the thing I've helped build for myself. What I want is to deny myself my work, my career, the fruits of my labor, my own happiness. I want to see myself dwindle to dregs, fractions of zero, declarations of bankruptcy, reduced to couch surfing. The way I behave suggests a desire for rock bottom. Is that obsessive compulsive? I don't know. All right. Alright, how am I going to fix this video? It has to be educated and researched, but personal. It has to come from a real place, but be marketable. It has to be interesting and different, but I can't spend any money on it because I'm broke. Can't hire actors. I have to finish it within the week. It has to be funny, or else people won't watch. Clickbaitable title. It has to be compelling enough to finish watching, but direct enough that people will get the idea in the first, minute. You gotta respect the audience's intelligence, but also play to the lowest common denominator so I don't get 0 views. Also, rank higher than 10 out of 10. I hope. Honest, but not grossly pouring my heart out. Intellectual, but casual. Has to be about me, even though I hate being on camera and speaking on camera. Has to be good enough to keep the channel going. Has to make people want to support me on Patreon because I really need the money. Can't be too obsessed, but has to be self-concerned because that's what it's about, even though that's all I want to get away from. Has to be about me, even though I think about me increasingly less. Has to value my thoughts and feelings, even though I have less to say about myself than ever. It should be doable. Alright, ready for the most authentic product endorsement I may ever give? Growing up, I always struggled with a level of chronic guilt and anxiety that seemed non-standard compared to my peers. I constantly felt like I had something to confess or atone for, or something that inhibited my ability to be my full self. I would closely monitor my body and thoughts for anything out of place, sensations, emotions, or murky subconscious desires. Eventually, this constant self-policing of myself and my relationship with others came to a head. I was unable to leave the house on time, I kept myself out of certain rooms, and I found myself averting my eyes from movies and television shows at the slightest hint of discomfort. In high school, I realized through work with a therapist that I was struggling with obsessive-compulsive disorder, one of the most debilitating and misunderstood mental illnesses one can find themselves in a bout with. It was incredibly destabilizing, but through work with various therapists, the support of my friends and family, and specialized treatment through ERP therapy and NoCD, I'm feeling more equipped than ever to overcome OCD in everyday life. Last year, during another bout of difficult feelings, NoCD's push notifications and constant encouragement to seek help allowed me to find a therapist and work through my obsessions with them. All NoCD specialists specialize in treating OCD with exposure response therapy, and thanks to extensive training, they understand deeply what you're going through. NoCD therapy is 100% virtual, and there's support between sessions so you never have to be alone. It's also covered by insurance for over 155 million Americans, and they accept most major insurance plans. As somebody who is very skeptical of businesses, especially online therapy outlets, I was very surprised by how quick, attentive, and persistent the encouragement from NoCD was, specifically tailored to help people like me who are suffering from OCD to overcome their isolationist tendencies and take the plunge. They did not ask me to say that last part, and I wouldn't say it if I was not genuinely taken aback by how tailor-made their service is to help help people like me, breaking down the barriers anxiety disorders put between their victims and support. Without NoCD, I would have gone without a therapist for weeks, even months longer than I did. So if you think you might be struggling with OCD, please know that you're not alone. NoCD has helped many people regain their lives from OCD, and they can help you too. To learn more, visit nocd.com to book a free call with their team. That's nocd.com. Bingo! Every rose has its thorns. For instance, I'm Rose, and my thorns are technically calcified skin tags, identified by taxonomists as a novel adaptive radiation evolved to protect myself from silverfish attacks in my sleep, since I don't have a bed frame. If Queen Bed on the damp carpet is crazy, take me to the loony bin. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you're struggling with obsessive-compulsive disorder, please consider using the resources NoCD provides. They helped me immensely. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. After taking essentially a year to rigorously recover from a 2-year-long depressive episode, I'm finally feeling well enough not only to upload consistently, but with a better standard of quality. If you're interested in helping me continue to create, Patreon is the best way to do that, and I could appreciate it because I have zero money in savings. Like for my whole life. Like, zero money. So Patreon would be sick. Finally, the Palestinian family that I've shouted out multiple times in my previous several videos really is still in need of funding. The link to that will be in the description. As you may know, Israel is continuing its genocidal assault on the Palestinian people. Many people in Palestine are suffering from malnutrition and starving, and one of Ahmed's daughters is suffering from malnutrition. They could use your help, they could use your money, and if you have the ability to donate, I implore you to consider it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Mwah.
Finished recording. You may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey Ma, I just finished the video finally, so whenever you are free for our weekly call, I am free. Just don't ask me about the video because I'm just figuring out what can drive me through the human experience of sanity. Just trying to express myself. I literally just can't without dissuading the algorithm from picking it up or by pissing people off or being too slow. Also, the video is all about me again. That's the problem about the format. It's being all about like you. You have to be on camera. I don't give a fuck. Right? All about me. Ooh, I'm just so sick of talking about me and my thoughts, my feelings. Christ, man, that's the only stuff that's mine at this point. I mean, don't even get me started on what people want. If you do something vaguely expressive, something that takes time to show a feeling or perspective or experience, people flip their lids. You know, they say you're wasting time. Like every single video has to be this like congealed, condensed economic essay solely focused on being listenable. It's a video, you know, not a podcast. Imagine turning on a movie and watching a character having a conversation and getting mad because it's not a professor giving a lecture. I just don't understand. People go to stuff to just be like sedated or condescended to instead of being engaged. You know, it just freaks me out. Anyways, call me back when you got the chance. I love you, Mom. Bye-bye.